I'm really hoping that this challenge is not just something we just do like an activity, but something that I believe will actually help us. Multidimensional planning is something that I've been experimenting on for a while now, especially for the past 2 years or so. I really think that this is a game changer because most people do not really know how to make preparations and plan for the year to come. So it is very easy for them to um fall into a loop. A loop, I mean, every new year they try something, try to do it, fail, then tell themselves that I'll just wait for the next year to come. They do it over and over and over and over again, but they don't go anywhere. So it all comes down to how they are actually planning, how they put those things down in paper. You understand? Our mind do not work the way we want it to work. Right from the first time we started schooling, you are taught your basic alphabet, and you have been brainwashed into thinking that life is linear. Linear in the sense that you go from grade one to grade five, from grade five to high school, from high school to college. If you're in Nigeria, you know that that's from primary school to secondary school to university, and you graduate, you get a job. That's just how people think about life linearly. But most times it doesn't actually work that way because life is multidimensional. So in order to you to make plans that will actually hold or work, you have to also make multidimensional plan. What do I mean multidimensional plan? You know those times you sit down to think about your goals and you're like, okay, I want to make 5 or 6 figures earning this year, and you just put that down 6 figure earning this year, and you ask yourself, how am I going to do these things? So the first thing you do is, I'm going to get a good job, then I'm going to start working, they will start paying me, and I'll get 6 figures. Most times life doesn't work that way. That's a linear plan, and that plan is susceptible to failure. The chances and percentage for your failure is very, very high. You understand? If you make those kind of plans, it doesn't actually work that way. Intelligent people make multidimensional plan, not just linear plans. What do I mean by multidimensional plans? Now, if you look back yesterday, what we did in the challenge, we had to document everything that could possibly go wrong. Now, from my experience, um let me just draw this closer. From my experience, I have come to understand that no matter how you try to plan, things always go wrong. You know, you've already putting down together some things that might probably go wrong. Like, yes, you did that yesterday, but let me shock you, things that you never thought of could happen, and that is why you need a multi-dimensional plan. So the thing with with linear plan is that if you make linear plans, like from I'm going from point A to B, what usually happens is this: when the things you don't expect to happen, they throw you off balance, and when they throw you off balance, you are prone to fall back to your default mode or your default state to do the things you usually always do. You get it? So you don't actually create you don't actually create lapses, or some people call it plan B. Even plan B is not enough. Some people are like, okay, I'll start a business. If I can't start a business, I'll do this. Then if that doesn't work, I don't know what to do. No, that's not how it works. To make a multi-dimensional plan is you have to create a map, not just a linear plan, not just list out things you are going to do for 2024. You're actually creating an actual map, and this map will guide you. When one part is blocked, you just take another part. You know, when you're using Google Map and you take a wrong turn, what do you do? What does Google Map do when you take a wrong turn? It only reroutes you. It doesn't say, oh, you've taken a wrong turn, you have to go back again. No, you only take another route. It might take you a longer time to get there, but you actually get there. That's what creating a multi-dimensional plan is. So it's like creating a web, a map that helps you achieve your goal with every possible part in that plan. Every possible part is in that plan. So I would really love to help illustrate this with a pen and paper, but I don't really know how that is possible since we do not have the option to do a how will I call it, a whiteboard on this live. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video for a bit so I can get the pen and paper to explain what a multi-dimensional plan is, and how it's different from and how that is different from an actual linear plan to do this. So just give me a minute. Planning. We have plan A to plan B to plan C. Now, to many people, this is, I don't know if this is inverted. Let me check. Let me check. Okay. Mr. Semani, can you get the letters correctly or it's inverted? Please just let me know in the chat. So we have, this is plan A, taking you over to plan B, then taking you over to plan C. So this is how most people make their plans, right? They're like, okay, I'm going to do this, then I will do this, then I will do this, right? But most times life doesn't really help you that much to put those things into perspective. So when you put in, when you say, I'm going to do plan A, I'm going to plan B. So what if something stops you from getting plan A right? That means your plan B and C, they are cut off. Now let's take, for instance, you want to start a business so you can have more money, more freedom, and that will help you live a better life, right? That's ABC. Now, you want to start a business, you don't know which kind of business to start, you don't know which kind of business to go into. So let's say you go into a business and the business fail. So that means you no longer have access to finances and you are not living a good life. So that cuts you off from B and C. So what most people do is they'll be like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to plan A the next year to see if I can do it again. And so they are in this loop from plan A, plan B doesn't work, plan C doesn't work. Okay, I'll try it again next year. And so they keep doing that again. But intelligent people, what do they do? They make a multi-dimensional plan, a map for what is going to happen in the future, trying as much as possible to predict the future. Remember, I said no one force can predict the future. So no matter how great our plan is, it is always susceptible to what? To failure. So what we can do is to create a map that will help us bypass every possible failure that there is. So what I do is that I have, let me make this here. All right, so this is it. So if you want to create a multi-dimensional plan, you have to put something like this in place. Now you see this at the center here, this red, this tick dot on the center. That's your core. That's your core plan. That's what you really want to achieve. Remember the first day I told you, you just need one plan, one goal for the next year, one solid goal that can change everything. And that solid goal can be just maybe improving your finances. You understand? So now we are going to move from this to the next place and the next circle and the next circle and the next circle. Now we're going to create every possible path that will lead us to this goal. So it might be starting a business, it might be working a job, it might be a side hustle, it might be volunteering, it might be something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create paths like this, path leading from let me just try it so you can see. Now, I've created, this is just a rough visualization. I've created different parts to this goal here and here, and you understand. So we have different parts, right? Now, this part might be starting a job, getting a new job, or maybe starting a business, or maybe volunteering in an organization, or learning a skill, or making really good connections with people at the top, or exploiting your strengths, or so that's the point. Now you don't just have one path to achieve this main goal, you have different paths. And the trick is this: making this path to this goal very easy. Making this path to this goal very easy, something that will not cost you much. So you might dedicate the first month to learning a skill, the second month to trying how to monetize the skill. Now if learning a skill is very essential. So if you've learned the skill, now you have the option to make that skill, to use that skill to start a business, or to use that skill to work a job. You understand? So you have one goal: start a job, get a job, you learn a skill, you get a job, or you start a business. Now if you try to get a job, it doesn't work, okay, as I'm waiting for this job, I can actually start a business. Now what kind of business can you start? You can list out multiple businesses you can start that are very easy for you to achieve this main goal. So there are different parts. So once one part is locked out, you use another part. Now, let's say you try to learn a skill, but you couldn't actually get the money to learn the skill. So, what is in your next roadmap? Start a business. Now, you can ask yourself, what local businesses are around me that I can actually learn from, I can help, or I can serve, that can give me that skill that I tried to get here, but I couldn't get it. You understand? You can now start working for a business. Now, working for a business for free, we give you that skill that you would have paid money. Since you didn't have the money here to get the skill, you are helping someone who owns the business that can give you that same results that you would have gotten here. So now you have a double point. Why? Because you are learning the skill, and you're also what you also have an opportunity to start that business. Now, let's say you do not have the opportunity to pass start that business. Now, let's go to networking. You know, who do you know that can help you learn, that can help you get that skill for almost for free, for cheap or for free? Do you know anybody that's networking? Do you know anybody around you? Who are the people you know that know this thing that you can ask for help? You understand? So all you are trying to do is to get to this center goal right here. So now when you try at the top part here, when you try to learn a skill, you become better, you're able to learn the skill, you can put monetize the skill, or you can come down here that okay, start a business, monetize the business, make profit. If that doesn't work, you go to the next line and try it all down. So if you do this, what are you going to notice? That at the end, before the end of the year, you would have what achieved a lot just by trying to what to get to this center point. You will not must have achieved a whole lot. So now let's take for example that you failed. You didn't actually, you only actually able to get, maybe you were planning to get $10,000 in revenue at the end of the year. So I was saying, even if at the end of the year you aren't able to achieve that goal of getting $10,000, you would have tried possibly almost 100 different paths. This is just a very bad representation. Maybe you wanted to learn get the skills. When you finally get the skills, you try to monetize the skills, but at this point of monetization you couldn't get the monetization, so you instead try to use that skill to help someone that have a business so you can know more. So at least now you have a skill. You didn't have a skill before. Now you know you could try helping someone who have a business. You are building connection. Now let's say you help someone to build a business, you try to make money here, but you weren't actually able to do it. So what do you do next? Okay, you like, okay, now I have a skill, I know how the business work, so let me see if I can work a job. Now you take that skill here, maybe okay, to try to getting a job here, telling the employer I have this skill, I work with someone who have a business, and the person now later employs you. Now you're working, you're getting more skills, right? So now you see that you're all trying, you're just trying to get down to this goal. So maybe you work a job and you're only satisfied with the job, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to the top again to plan. Now what do you have? You have a skill, you have a business sense, a sense of business. Now you have connection, you have business connect, you have connection here because you've gotten a job. You're right. So you now feel like, okay, let me exploit, let me go back to the top again to see if I can use this connection I have to drive me down to the goal. Now maybe you have one or two connections, or you know one or two people who can actually help you get this $10,000. You can, okay, like, can I help? Can we start a business? Can we do business partnership? Can we do something like this? And maybe it works. You started the job, you got a business partnership, and you invested the little money you had here when you're working the job, you invested it here, and boom, you're able to get the $10,000. It might work like that. It might not work like that. But at the end of the year, after trying all these possible different parts, you will be 50 or 100 times better than you used to be. That's what I call multidimensional planning, and that's what I do almost every year. You see, there isn't just one part to your goals. There are several different parts, depending on how many you are trying to what you're trying to drive at. So you need to have one center goal, one core goal you are trying as much as possible to achieve, and create as many paths as possible to help you achieve that goal. This is the secret. This is what many people will not tell you. And if you do things this way, you won't just lose steam very early. Most people go into January, they are pumped up, they are fired up. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I have the drive. Now this new year I can achieve this goal. They put in the effort. Oh, I want to quit this bad habit. You understand? I want to get this money. January, they put in all the energy. February, they are exhausted. March, they are back to square one. April, they're forgetting about the goal. May, it doesn't exist. June, they are back to their old self, living their old life. July, they have already called themselves a failure. August, oh, this year was bad. I'm going to try again next year. So, how long are you going to keep up this cycle? The goal is to make a multi-dimensional plan with having one focus at the center, creating different scenarios and different paths to achieve that goal. Now, things like this take a whole lot of work to do. So what I'm going to do, if I have the time, is to try as much to try my best to create a template that will help us to get these things done. I don't know how if I'm going to have the time to do that, but I will try. I will try to see if I can create a template. I know it's not going to be really easy, but it is going to help you. So this is it. What you're going to do tomorrow is to create something like this, and every point in this line should signify every point in this line is a path you are going to take. Get a job, make money, save money, my goal. Start a business, grow the business, make money, my goal. Network with people who are already in the field that I'm trying to get, know them, monetize that network, my goal. Or learn a skill, get better at the skill, sell the skill, my goal. Or partnership, volunteer, partnership, experience, my goal. So you're going to create something like this tomorrow, and your main core goal will be at the center here, and you're going to submit an image of what of your template like this. You're going to take this whole night to try to craft something like this down, so that you'll be able to have a perfect plan in place for next year. This is the most important thing for this challenge. If you don't have this, then I don't believe that you are going to get anywhere next year, no matter how good your plan is. So when you do something like this, you're going to pin it to your wall or your decks or wherever you'll be seeing it every day, and to remind yourself that, okay, this is what I'm going to be committed to next year. So that's basically it for multidimensional planning. It's trying to create different paths to your goal, not just creating linear paths. Plans doesn't work. They don't work. Now, another reason why this doesn't work is this: our brain do not understand linear plans, because our brain fires up millions of neurons every day to try to make sense of our environment. So, how do we expect linear plans to work? Everything about life is unpredictable. So, we have to be prepared for anything at all that might possibly go wrong. And I believe that this is one of the secrets that can help you crush your goals in 2024. So, the Better 25 challenge, like I said earlier, is to help us do things a little differently this time around, so that we can actually have better system in place for 2025. We need to crush 2025. We need to step up. We need to do things we've never done before. We need to elevate our finances. We need to put things in place. And I believe it starts from here. So you getting into 2025, you are not starting like every other person, but you are already what, armored up, prepared, and ready to crush whatever obstacles and opposition that the next year have for you. So I tell people every year, it's not going to get easy. Things might get a little more difficult than it is this year. Things might get more rough or bad. Inflation, the economy might sink deep. But if you have something like this in place, a multi-dimensional plan, I believe that it is actually going to help you, and it's going to make a whole lot of difference in your life. So, this stream will be available for replay just for 30 days. So, I would like everyone to take advantage of it. I've actually unlocked the download, so you can download things from Band right now. So, if you're listening to this on a later date, or maybe you're trying to put this plan together and you're having a challenge, you can reach out to me. We'll go live one more time before before the challenge ends. So if you have any question or anything like that, we can always drop it in the group. So I do hope that subsequently we're able to get more people engaged, carry more people along, and help people get better preparation and plan for 2025. So I don't know how today's stream was, but I will try and see, learn from the stream, so we know if it is going to be possible to do it on ban as time goes on. So that will be all for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a beautiful day ahead.